Hi and welcome back to my channel. It's Dice Swan here from Catagania. So I'm continuing today on my journal that I've created for the Happy Craft Challenge design team. And so at the moment I'm just cutting a garlic bag and gelling it to the next spread of the hardcover book that I'm using. And I'm now adding some acetate birds that I cut out to make my own stencil from a silhouette machine I have. So continuing here, I'm doing as I usually do, adding torn papers, but I've also had some feathers I cut out for an ATC project I done a while back for the group I'm in, Arty Pen Pals. So I'm just adding these to the page as a bit more texture to the page. So I'm making sure that those acetate birds are glued down and adding bits and pieces. I'm also now adding some masking tape, and I'm actually scrunching it up to give some more texture in the background. It will lay flat as you're adding the gel medium plus paints as well. So that's a good way to add some texture without actually using model paste. So just adding some flat masking tape, which actually will help hold down the garlic and etc. Now I found a lovely piece of paper that has some beautiful roses on it, so I decided to place this in the lower left hand corner of the second page, and I'm just putting some staples in as an added hold to the items, plus some more added texture. I'm just looking at the other page to make sure it's not ruining the previous layout. So I actually sometimes will just open the stapler up and press down. Because I'm using a book, it actually goes through quite well, and you just fold over the staple pieces where you want it, so that way you can actually place some of the staples further into the page that you can't reach. So now I'm going to add some white paint to the page, and I'm just using acrylics today. I'm not using any gesso. I thought just using acrylic paints just makes it so it's a lot easier, and I think most of this spread, except for the acetate of course, is actually something anybody can use if they've just got some acrylic paints and some glue of any sort. So you could have used PVA glue. It would take a little bit longer to dry as it's actually holds a lot of water, but in different stages it's something that can be done for everybody. So now I'm going to use a HB pencil, and I'm just writing a couple of words and doing some doodling across the page, just to add again some more texture and layers. Doesn't matter what you do, it's just a case of it's just adding some more depth. So I dried that off, and now using my Inktense black pencil, I'm just outlining some of the birds and the roses, because I'm actually going to be painting over them. They're just using them as a template in the background. I know a lot of you will go, oh, but it's a beautiful paper. Yes, it is, but I'm just having some fun with this page. So I start with some dusky pink from Kaisercraft. It was something that came in a parcel, and I thought I'd use that. And as you see, that really shows up that garlic bag quite well on the left hand side. So I'm adding a few other colours, and I'll add the list of colours and the brand of that, the paint in the bottles for you on my blog page at some point as soon as I get that posted. So now I'm just adding more of the pinks. So I've actually got, I think, 3 pinks I'm using, and water, just watering down, and I'm also spraying alcohol ink over the page, which actually just lifts some of the painting areas. So because there's green for the leaves, I add a bit of green, which actually goes quite well with pink anyway. So I'm dabbing it off and adding and removing, and that will just add more layers of paint colours. So I'm actually using a different white, which actually is nearly empty, so I just thought I'd use the rest of the bottle up today. So this adding the acrylics activates the Inktense as well, so that brings up some of the colouring there on those items. So I've added some red to the birds and blended it down, and I just now decided I was going to paint the birds black. In a second I lose this recording because I had a notification. So here's a picture of how it finished when the recording stopped. So I added some Mod Podge and let it dry overnight. So now I'm getting out all my Posca pens and I'm doodling. So I'm just having fun doodling everywhere. bye.